and some scouts are saying that this year's list has the potential to be even better than the 2019 class. Hey, welcome to the Couch GM. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button on this video, and make sure to share this with someone that's into baseball. So we're just a day or two away now from the start of the MLB season for 2022, and this year's rookie class has the chance to be the best in years, with specifically the top 3 to 5 players being generational talents. Over these final days of spring training, various clubs have been announcing that their top prospects have made the opening day roster. Today, Bobby Witt Jr. was announced for the Royals. Yesterday, Julio Rodríguez was announced to have made the opening day roster for the Mariners. The other day, Spencer Torkelson for the Tigers. There's various other big names that will be there on opening day, some that are currently injured, and then a few that will be called up after opening day. So we'll touch on the top 15 or so rookies for this year and who to look out for. Before we get into the rookies for 2022, let's flash back to the rookie class of 2019, as this list was absolutely stacked with talent, and some scouts are saying that this year's list has the potential to be even better than the 2019 class. The big names from 2019's rookie class were Vlad Jr., Bo Bichette, Fernando Tatis Jr., Eloy Jimenez, Yordan Alvarez, Pete Alonso, Brian Reynolds, Alex Verdugo, Mike Yastrzemski, Sandy Alcantara, and Mike Soroka. If you followed the MLB for any time at all, you know these names and you know that they can play, at least when they've been healthy. So to think this year's rookies might be able to outshine the 2019 class says a lot. We'll start with MLB Pipeline's number 1 prospect and work our way back. Shortstop Bobby Witt Jr. was drafted number 2 overall in the 2019 draft by the Kansas City Royals, and through his time in the minor leagues has shown off his 5-tool abilities, and he's now poised to become the face of the franchise. In 2021, he had 33 homers and 29 steals at AA and AAA, so he very well could be a 30-30 threat year after year in the majors.
Witt, diving play, and the throw to first is in time to get Alex Degatti. So it wasn't a pretty inning for the Royals, but that's a pretty play to end the top of the 8th.
The number 2 overall prospect is switch-hitting catcher Adley Rutschman, who was drafted number 1 overall in the 2019 draft by the Baltimore Orioles. He was expected to make the opening day roster this year, however sustained an injury during spring training and will take some time to recover and most likely start in the minor leagues again. However, once he's back to full strength, he should be the Orioles starting catcher soon after, as well as their face of the franchise. He has great hit and power abilities from both sides of the plate and is known as a great fielder. The number 3 overall prospect is Seattle Mariners' Julio Rodríguez.
I think it's time, Julio. I think it's time. Bring on the J-Rod show. Okay? You go for that? Yes. Come here. Congratulations. You are a big leaguer, my man. That's all. Well.
It was announced yesterday that Julio would join the big league club on opening day, and he earned every right to do so. He crushed at every level of the minor leagues, and this spring finished with a .412 batting average with 3 home runs, 8 RBIs, 10 runs scored, and 3 stolen bases, with one of those home runs being an inside-the-park home run hit off of a manual Class A. And somehow, even after getting taller and bigger this year, has shown that he's gotten faster on the bases and can play a solid center field. The J-Rod Show is in Seattle, and it's time to tune in.
2 on, 2 out. The 0-2. Swing destroyed. This is going to the tent city, baby. That is destroyed, clobbered, and gone.
Spencer Torkelson is MLB Pipeline's number 4 prospect. He was drafted number 1 overall in 2020 by the Detroit Tigers out of Arizona State. And after leading the Pac-12 in home runs 2 years in a row, he's considered the best power bat to come out of college in the past 2 decades. Even after a stellar college career, he's found a way to continue to get better throughout the minors and tune in his craft.
You don't see too many guys who are that good of a hitter with that much power.
I think this guy is going to be a corner keystone for the Detroit Tigers for not only next year, but hopefully for a long time. He wants the attention. He wants to be in that spotlight. And all he needs to do is just get the at-bats, stay healthy, and the sky's the limit for this guy.
This home run right here came on the 11th pitch of the at-bat against Aaron Nola.
3-2 to Torkelson. I don't think he retired him. That ball is crushed. That's his first home run of the spring.
He'll be a key piece in the Tigers lineup moving forward and will be their opening day. The number 5 overall prospect in baseball is Torkelson's Detroit Tigers teammate, outfielder Riley Greene. Greene unfortunately fouled a ball off of his foot in spring training, which fractured his foot, and he has since been declared out indefinitely. This comes as a big blow for the Tigers as he was hoping to make the opening day roster and is touted as one of the top prospects in baseball.
Just 20 years old, Tigers outfielder Riley Greene is already a top 25 prospect in all of baseball and showing no signs of slowing thanks to an ever-improving hit tool that was already considered special a year ago.
Opposite field power, showcasing it here, Dan, going the other way.
I'll bet by the end of next year, guys will graduate too. Riley Greene might be like a top 5 prospect in baseball.
The number 6 overall prospect and the top pitcher on this list is Baltimore Orioles' Grayson Rodriguez. He stands in at 6'5", 220, and has a 70 grade fastball on top of a 70 grade changeup. This guy looks like he'll be a force in the major leagues at some point very soon, but will start the season in AAA. Orioles fans have something to be very excited about this year, because if everything goes as planned, Grayson Rodriguez will be on the bump at Camden Yards, with Adley Rutschman behind the dish. Moving to the number 9 prospect is C.J. Abrams, shortstop with the San Diego Padres. Even though the Padres have not yet announced that Abrams has made the opening day roster, there's widely speculation that he will be on the opening day club, as the news of Fernando Tatis Jr. needing wrist surgery with the possibility of being out 3 months creates an opportunity for Abrams to step into that shortstop position and fill in for at least the time that Fernando is out. And after posting a .324 batting average over 39 plate appearances with 2 home runs and 3 stolen bases in spring training, Abrams has pretty much solidified his spot on the opening day roster. The number 12 overall prospect and another one who was supposed to make the opening day roster is Shane Baz, a starting pitcher with the Tampa Bay Rays. However, in late March, it was announced that he would be undergoing elbow surgery to remove loose bodies, but it sounds like he'll be able to ramp up his throwing again relatively soon, and he'll be on the MLB club this year. Last year, he made 2 appearances during the regular season for the Rays, 1 in the postseason. He looked solid during the regular season with a 2.03 ERA over those 2 starts, with 18 strikeouts over 13 1/3 innings pitched. He was acquired by the Rays as the player to be named later in that trade with the Pirates that sent Chris Archer to the Pirates in exchange for Austin Meadows and Tyler Glasnow, now on top of Shane Baz to the Rays. Man, what a trade. Good for the Rays. Starting pitcher for the Angels, Reed Detmers, is MLB's number 21 overall prospect and was announced to be the Angels' number 6 starter moving into opening day. Hunter Greene comes in as the number 22 overall prospect, standing in at 6'5", 230. This Cincinnati Reds prospect has an 80 grade fastball, which means that he's consistently sitting 97 plus on the radar. However, when watching film, he's consistently hitting 100 to 101 miles an hour. Now that the Reds have traded away Sonny Gray, Hunter Greene will slot into the Reds rotation nicely, and we'll see how his stuff fares on the major league level. Standing in at 6'7", the number 26 overall prospect is Pittsburgh Pirates shortstop O'Neal Cruz. Scouts note that he has immense raw power from the left side of the plate, as well as a plus arm. He very well could and should be on the opening day roster this year based on his spring performance, as well as his brief stint in the majors last year, but the Pirates have decided to start him in AAA, citing that they want him in the best shape as possible when they call him up, and that he needs work in the field. It seems the Pirates don't want a shot at the rookie benefits from the new CBA, and instead they'd prefer to manipulate his service time and have an extra year of control.
That brings up O'Neal Cruz. That's a line shot to right field. Check out the exit velo on that one. 118.2 miles an hour.
Look out, Paul. Oh, my.
Joey Bart, catcher for the San Francisco Giants, is the number 31 overall prospect, and he'll be there on opening day as he's the hopeful long-term replacement for Buster Posey since his retirement. He had a great season in 2021 in AAA, as well as spring training so far this year, and he'll be another big name to look for. Starting pitching prospect for the Mariners, George Kirby, comes in at number 32, and although he'll start the year at AA, in my opinion, at some point this year he'll take over Chris Flexen's spot on the rotation. He's a guy that can run his fastball up to 100 miles an hour, but is still considered an extreme command guy, as in 2021 he walked just 2 batters per 9. He was battling Matt Brash for that 5th spot on the rotation during spring training, but after he gains a little more experience, he'll get the call. Another top prospect who made the opening day roster is Philadelphia Phillies shortstop Bryson Stott, who after performing well in spring training with a .419 batting average, may just have a chance of becoming the starting shortstop for the Phillies pretty early in the year. That's an exciting Phillies team this year, and Stott is a name you'll want to look for. The number 97 overall prospect, Joe Ryan, a starting pitcher for the Minnesota Twins, has made the opening day roster, and he will actually be the starter for their first game of the season. He'll be an intriguing arm to watch this year because even though his fastball averages just 91.2 miles per hour, he's still able to blow it by guys due to his low release and the rising effect that the fastball seems to have.
He's absolutely blowing this by guys. I mean, 93, 94 miles an hour, and it's looking like 97, 98 miles an hour. That's the crazy thing to me. And then when he does drop in those breaking balls, they don't know how to react.
And the last prospect we'll cover at number 98 on the MLB Pipeline, and the fifth starter in the Mariners rotation, is Matt Brash. If you've seen my other videos, you know who this guy is, but the Mariners were able to snag him for essentially nothing from the Padres, and he's really caught everyone's attention through this year's spring training, as he's proven that his stuff can play in the major leagues. He's got a 98-mile-an-hour fastball, and his slider is the definition of unhittable. As I mentioned, he'll be the fifth starter for the Mariners come opening day, and I'm sure you'll see more of his highlights throughout the season. So that's all I have for today. Thank you all for the support, and please remember to hit that like button, subscribe, and follow the Couch GM on Twitter for more.